And we back. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. And it ain't gonna happen in this video. But joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
I am what the heck? I am having slight issues technologically, but I am here. Be sure to support James, like and share the video.
Okay, wait, talk real quick. I wanna make sure I have the right one on.
It's like I don't want to make sure I have the right one.
Yeah, because I don't want to remove it and then kick you out. So I'm like, okay, let me make sure. I'm just gonna leave that one in. I just gotta remind myself not to click. Oh, thank you. Thank you for getting rid of it. Because
What?
I was like, wait, I don't know which one to kick out. Okay.
It went?
Yeah, it went away.
Oh wow. Okay.
Subscribe to Mrs. Best channel. Any reviews or recaps I don't cover on my channel, it's because we cover on her channel. So make sure you guys are subscribed to her. We have Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta and Miami, and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So we want to make sure you guys see our commentary because we love all of those shows. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is one of my favorites. Love that we have it on her channel so we can support each other through this journey. We also are supporting Shana's new channel, Shana underscore MCD TV. She is doing a secondary channel. She is trying to get it monetized. If it's not already monetized, whatever the status of her channel is, we're going to support it nonetheless. So make sure you guys subscribe to Shana's channel. Her information is in my description box as well. So make sure you give her some love and then tell her James sent you. So, hi, Shani. Thank you for being here. We love you. Listen, I wasn't trying to. She had too many things up at one time. So I was trying to get.
No, he did not do anything. It's this stupid StreamYard app. It be tripping sometimes. I'm so sorry, y'all.
Yes, yes, yes. So, y'all, this was Married to Medicine, season 11, episode 11, Trouble on the Sandbar. Y'all, when I tell you this episode was hilarious, I was laughing so hard that I just. I'm still laughing at it because it was just so funny. Everything that happened in the strategic order that it happened was just go. Whoever directed this episode, good job. Because we didn't know what Married to Medicine was going to turn out to be, but we're happy nonetheless that it was excellently put together. So the episode opens up with pretty much all of the couples having conversations about the craziness that happened last night when it came to Quad, Dr. Gregory, Sweet Tea, and just King just sitting there just looking at everybody. So, we have a little segment with just King and Quad. They were talking about, what happened and how bothered Dr. G was. And Greg don't need to be sorry. Things happen. Um, And King is like, I think it was the fact that we said we have sex 15 times a week. I think that's what bothered him. And it was funny because Toya had that same assessment. If you guys go back to the episode previously, Toya said that same thing. Toya said, I think it was the sex and the fact that they want to have kids. I think that's what really set him off. And I agree with that because that's been the reason why those two. That was one of the reasons why those two are no longer married. It's because he wanted kids, Quad didn't want to have kids. So now to see her want kids with this new man, I know that has to be a kick in the foot for him. Shane said, cracking up on this episode. Also, I loved it. And I know I don't be watching all the episodes. I just listen to your review most of the time. But I watched this episode. Oh, well, we appreciate you catching the review before the episode. We appreciate you. And in this case, you did it backwards. But I'm glad you did because it wasn't just a good episode. It was an excellent episode. So, Mrs. Best, do you think King's assessment of Dr. G in the beginning of this episode was correct? Do you think that he was pressed about them having sex and wanting kids?
Yeah. It's that I mean, that was the main reason on Dr. G's side, from what the public knows, because we can't speak to what really went on in the marriage, but from what the public knows and what they each told us, that was Dr. G's like main issue in the marriage. He wanted kids. It felt like as she changed, the less she was committed to building a family with him. So I absolutely think that's something that bothered them. We also heard Toya say that at one point Dr. G went 3 years without sex, which we sensed before they exposed all their problems. You could just tell that this couple was going through something. So it's bothersome. Like Quad said, She maybe shouldn't have said it, but it's true. She chose to leave that marriage. He wanted to fight.
I agree. I agree. And in the same token that we're watching Quad and King, we're also watching Sweet Tea and Dr. G. And basically, he was just saying that it just became too much for him. He didn't want Sweet Tea to go back and forth with Quad because he knows that Quad is negative, and then she was lit, and it just wasn't a good scene. And Sweet Tea was like, "Look, I can handle myself. Like, I don't need you to be telling me all this and that." And he apologized for being dismissive. He's not apologizing about how he felt because he feels like he's valid in how he feels. To a certain degree, I agree with him. I think he is valid in how he feels, but at the same time, you don't have to like be so childish about it. Am I wrong, Mrs. Best, for saying that?
No, I think what people fail to realize is whether you agree or disagree with one another, you cannot tell someone their feelings are not valid. It's not about
Mhm.
whether the feeling was legit or whether someone knew what stemmed it. It's like how someone feels is always valid. So I do agree with that. But at the same time, Dr. G is extremely childish. He's extremely childish. And I see this of like so many people working in mental health, myself included. I'm studying to be an LMFT. And I'm the pettiest human alive. James will tell you I can be a petty bitch. But when it comes to giving others advice or in that professional realm is different. So yeah, Dr. G is definitely a problem.
Yeah.
But King is right.
hmm So we then move on. Toya, Dr. Eugene, Dr. Mimi, and Steve, they decided to go out to town. They wanted to get out of the resort. And they wanted to get to know each other because they don't really know each other that well. So they're wanting to, get out and get to know each other. And we learned a little bit more about, Steve and Mimi. Mimi's from Alabama. Steve is from Cleveland, and what we understand about Steve is that he is one of three children. His mother was a single mom and had worked three jobs, so football was an outlet for him, to basically be free and landing him into the professional gigs. Which we see this story a lot. We do. We see this story a lot, and it's so unfortunate. Every time I hear it, it's like it's a lot of broken Black homes, like in disassembled communities. Like I hate when I have to hear it, but I'm glad in the sense that he was able to parlay that into success. I did like that. So they sit down and they order their drinks, and Toya gets margarita made with Patron, and they were like, "Why Patron?" Because she goes, "Well, it doesn't have any preservatives, doesn't have any whatever she said that makes her heightened." And they were like, "You weren't heightened last night," and she goes, "No, I wasn't heightened last night." And they were like, "Oh, okay." She said, "All I said was it was uncomfortable, and I just called it out. I was just basically saying what everyone was thinking. Now, to some degree, Toya is right. I do agree with her. But at the same time, Toya could be obnoxious. And I think liquor doesn't help no matter what she drinks. It could be the Patron, it could be a wine, it could be anything. I just think that she's just going to be obnoxious. But it's funny how they immediately pointed that out and called it out because it is something that she does. Like Toya always seeks the attention. If you guys notice, Mrs. Best, do you feel that same way, or do you think I'm over exaggerating?
Toya does too much. It's not she can be obnoxious. She is obnoxious. And the thing of it is, Toya is, it doesn't seem like she's a bad person,
hmm
but she does too much and she's too concerned with how people think and look at her and how she's perceived. She get on my nerves, but I do appreciate her for saying what everyone else is thinking. I just hope she understands that in the real world, you don't need to always say what everyone's thinking but won't say. There's a reason they're not saying it, Toya. That's all.
Exactly. Yes. Pick up on your context clues, please. You know. So that was a pretty like cute little outing for them. So then we go to Dr. Heavenly's room. And Dr. Heavenly is talking with Jackie, and Simone comes in, and she's like, "Simone, I want your opinion on the whole situation. How do you think last night went? Because me and Jackie have two different opinions." And she goes, "Well, your questions were, they were actually pretty good. They weren't as messy as I know that you can be." And this is when Dr. Heavenly lets them know that she invited Apollo to come onto the trip. And they were like, well, why would you do that? Like, why would you invite Apollo here knowing that Phaedra is here with somebody? And in Dr. Heavenly's defense, she didn't know Phaedra was going to bring somebody. And she did tell Phaedra that Apollo was coming. So I don't know. I kind of felt like I want to give Heavenly a pass, but I feel like it was the right kind of mess. Mrs. Best, what do you think?
If you invite Apollo and you know he got a wife, like, and you know the history of the wife, because we know Heavenly pay attention and got time to watch these shows. Like she knows she was messy, but I'm not. I'm not gonna have nice things to say about Apollo's wife later. That's what I'm gonna say, and I'll leave it there.
Oh, we none of us will. So, and y'all already, if you guys have followed me for a long time, you guys know I covered the couples retreat show that was on MTV. Apollo and Shireen were cast members on that show, and I didn't spare any expense on them. I really didn't. I went all the way in because I couldn't stand her. So, yes, she's not going to get anything from here. She's going to get red. Sorry. So, for those people who actually like her, this ain't the channel for you. I'm just going to be honest. It's not the channel for you. You can bow gracefully, no harm, no foul. But for those who are riding with me, we going to ride the ride all the way to her demise. Okay? All right. So, Dr. Heavenly says she invited Apollo, and Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone know this is about to go left. They already know this is going to go left. And they cracked me up because when they said, well, when things go left, we'll just say, Phaedra knows. Because Phaedra does know that Apollo is coming. So we then have everyone, riding out in the cars. They're going to the boat. And it was funny because Simone actually had Polaroid cameras and cups with already filled liquor and umbrellas in them. And I said, Simone's so cheap. Oh, Simone cheap. Because not only did you get a charter boat that's the regular shuttle boat, you're going to have some Polaroid cameras and some Dixie cups? Really? Okay, Simone. I love us though. Hey, I hate this messes with their co-parenting situation. About Apollo and Phaedra. This ain't messing up nothing for them. They're divorced. He's married to a whole nother chick. What's the difference? What difference does it make if Phaedra brings a man or not? I think for me, I think what it was, I think people were expecting Phaedra to always be alone and not have anybody on the trip or just have a man in general. So I think that's what's throwing them off. That's my honest opinion. The boat should have at least been two. That's what I'm saying. Like she booked a whole shuttle boat. Like it was crazy. I said, y'all just gonna mess up this man little boat. But they're waiting around. Everyone's, commiserating and talking and everything. And so Dr. Heavenly, because Simone ready to go. She ready to go to the Sandbar. So Dr. Heavenly calls Apollo. She goes, hey, you coming? And he goes, yeah, we on our way. And she says, okay. So Apollo walks up and Phaedra's on the boat with, check the guy. And Quad with her messy ass was like, Apollo! She was just screaming his name. She goes, y'all didn't know Apollo and Shireen were coming? So Dr. Heavenly's like, I knew Apollo was coming, but I didn't know Shireen was coming. So I said, Dr. Heavenly, I don't believe Dr. Heavenly. I'm sorry. I don't believe
Go
she didn't
straight
know.
to hell, Heavenly. And y'all know I actually like Dr. Heavenly, but go straight to hell. Ain't no way you invite somebody married on a couple's trip
That they don't come with their spouse.
and expect for them not to come with their spouse, especially when their ex is there with that whole situation, which I'll let James get into.
He did say we on the way. He did say that. And it was her, hey Shireen, and all that. I was like, oh, okay, see, that's what maybe knew she knew. That right there. Y'all know when Heavenly get that high pitched voice to get the laughing, and that's because she knows it's about to be messy. And so Apollo and Shireen says hi, and she hasn't met this group of people. I think Apollo knows some of them, but she doesn't know anybody. So she's introducing everybody, and Phaedra's like, oh yeah, that's my ex-husband, and that's his wife. And Phaedra in her confessional says that that's the mistress that he cheated on me with. And I had forgotten that was the story, y'all, because I don't really be remembering like that. I just don't. But I was like, damn, that really is. I said, Heavenly, you ain't no good. You really gonna bring? Okay, okay. So Shireen seen Shake, and apparently they know each other, and it was more so than I know your ex. There's an actual friendship here, and that caught everybody off guard. They were like, "Wait, they know each other?" And Apollo sits with Quad and was like, "Yeah, that's my friend. Like, that's my boy. Like, I don't know what she doing here with him." And she goes, "Oh yeah, he's." And Shireen's like, "Yeah, he's been to plenty of my family events and stuff like that." So I'm like, okay, so family events. Apollo saying they are friends. Shake is downplaying the relationship to Phaedra. I said,
He is not downplaying the relationship. He is trash. But I would like everybody to remember when they went on their private date after the speed date, he did mention knowing not just Apollo, but his wife. And she asked, "Do you kick it off?" And he was like, "I go to dinner with them often. I've spent holidays." So he did say something. The part I don't like that Check did is he made it seem like he was more Shireen's friend versus Apollo's actual friend. And to me, it still comes back to him being messy just because, well, if you Shireen's friend, and now we've been reminded of who she is for RHOA fans, you should know better than to even try to date your friend's husband's ex-wife. Did I say that right?
yeah, you did say that right, but I don't remember him going into explicit detail.
All he said was, "We are close. I go to dinner at their house a lot, and I've spent a holiday with them a few times,
When
but
did
not
he say
every
that?
year."
Because I honestly
Said
did not.
that in their first speed date. And I was like, I thought that was weird. I said this last week. I thought that was weird that she proceeded to still want to go out with that man after hearing that he has any form of a connection to her ex-husband. And then she said in the confessional when the producers asked her about, "Oh, Atlanta is small, child," but still, I'm side eyeing Phaedra also because this man, you did know that he knew your ex. So regardless of how deep it was, I don't understand why she would still want to go out with him.
I didn't remember that either. I'm gonna have to rewatch it because I did not. I thought when they went to the initial lunch after the speed dating, he just said he knew Apollo. He didn't say anything about Shireen. I don't remember him going into that
He
explicit
said
detail.
he knew the wife. It was in one of them episodes because I thought that was so strange for Phaedra. I was looking like, why would you want to go out with somebody connected to your ex anyway? Like
I
Atlanta
mean,
can't be that small.
honestly, what it's really given after they explained. I'm actually gonna save this. I'll save this for another conversation. Um, I guess I wasn't paying too much attention to it. I was. I guess I wasn't either because I didn't hear all that. I really didn't. But then again, why shouldn't Phaedra turn Heavenly being shady to her advantage? You know what? Because it's more than just that. It's more. I know we want to paint Heavenly as being shady and messy, which it was messy. But it would be shady if Phaedra had no clue. That's when it would have been shady on Heavenly's side. But Heavenly told her um, that Apollo was coming. She did say it. So, and there's footage of it. Faye trying to get her lick back. That is all. Honestly, I don't think so. I think, as like in my opinion, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Even though Mrs. Best, and I trust my best friend, I do. Even though Mrs. Best is saying that he did come clean with knowing them and everything like that, I still, to my recollection of it, I feel like he didn't go into explicit detail because she said that in her confessional, she said that he knew Apollo from the club. That's what she said in her confessional. And that's what I'm
He
remembering as
did
I'm
not
reading.
go into explicit details. All that man said is he goes to dinner with the wife. He knows the wife and has been around for a holiday or two. He made it seem more like he knew Shireen versus Apollo. But the part
That's
that's also weird for me, Phaedra, you were married to Apollo for a long time and with him for an even longer time. Is this like a new friend of his or something?
it has to be. First of all, that kid is young. That kid is not. First of all, that kid is young. Like she's old enough to have him. So I feel like no, there's some bullshit here. And to me, I just felt like I was with the rest of the crew. This is weird. It's just really strange. There seems to be more going on. But they go to the sandbar. We're gonna move on from this. They go to the sandbar. Simone has to point out that there's 8 black physicians on the boat. And I'm not gonna name all of them because you guys should all know who they are. Okay. So we then go, and then everyone goes into the circle. The men go in one corner, the women go in the next corner, and you have the men kind of commiserating. You know, Steve introduces himself to Apollo because apparently on the boat they didn't get introduced or whatever. And he goes, "Okay, so how do you fit in with the group?" And he goes, "Well, I know Dr. Damon, Dr. Heavenly. I've known Quad forever, so I'm pretty much cool with them." He neglects to mention that he used to be married to Phaedra, and that's what Curtis pointed out. He goes, "Well, I guess he's not going to say he used to be married to Phaedra," which we all know he used to be married to Phaedra, but apparently Steve don't watch reality TV or didn't watch Real Housewives of Atlanta to know this, so, we'll just give him a pass on that one. And then it turns into, this conversation about, um, King being welcome to the group. And, I think it was either Eugene or it was Cecil that said, we appreciate you being open with us and, being cool in the group. And this is where Greg takes his moment to say, yeah, I didn't know how to really take you. And I'm sorry that I didn't personally welcome you. I have a history with my ex-wife and all of this. And I just don't want that to, play into that because I don't want that to come off as rude. I had to tell her to shut the hell up or something. He said something to that extent, something disrespectful. And King said, whoa, when you say all that? And he goes, last night. I told her last night. He goes, you said that last night. He goes, oh. He didn't know how to take that. Like, he didn't know. And Eugene was like, Greg, what the fuck would you even say? Like, why are you trying to mess up this moment? Like, really? You had to say something like that? And I agreed. I was like, you didn't even have to do all that. You could have just said, yeah, BS aside, I'm good. You seem cool. Let's be cordial. And, who knows where this can go. That's all he had to say. He didn't have to go into all them details like that. He didn't have to do all of that. And so King started processing, but he kind of pushed it to the side for a moment. And he's all like, professional football player. We should have got some football. And then it turns into this weird point where somebody wanted everybody to do push-ups. So Dr. Greg says, you want me to do push-ups? I do push-ups. And every time he did a push-up, he said, one, Letitia. And I'm like, why? I'm like, is he okay?
He's trying to convince himself that this is the woman for him. And that is not shade towards Sweet Tea and my personal feelings. Like, if I take my feelings for both of them out of it, I don't think they're actually like in love. I think that he want a child. He don't want to be alone. I also feel like he wanted to be back on TV. And she wanted to be in some sort of a situation where she got a man and a child and a come up from the show. I don't think Sweet Tea and Dr. G have the love that everybody else thinks they have, but in the eye of the public, they gonna fight together. But I definitely don't see it. That's what that was. Because why are you saying her name after each push-up? Just
It was
do them
strange.
push-ups and get up and shut up, Dr. G.
Right. I felt like Dr. G was testing the waters to see how far he could go with King.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to some degree, I see what you're saying, but to me, that makes it even more strange because you don't need to do that if you over quad.
She
And
sure
remember,
did.
she also likes to access to him. She kept saying that on Watch What Happens Live too last night. Oh, she was on Watch What Happens Live last. I don't even know,
She
y'all.
was.
I don't
She
watch.
was.
Who was she on there with?
Who was that? Oh my God, my brain is slipping me. But they didn't even give Sweet Tea the first chair, and it was her episode that had aired.
Oh,
She
was
was
it
sitting.
another? Was it somebody else on Married
It
to Medicine?
was Contessa. She looked, yes.
You have a
Thank you.
Contessa? Oh, okay, now I really gotta watch it.
I said, how Sweet Tea a main cast member, Contessa's not, and Sweet Tea ended up in the second chair. I said, what is going on? But she was saying foolery on Watch What Happens Live. But Dr.
Oh, I
G
know that
was
was a. Oh,
there.
I know that was a heavenly takedown match. I already know it was.
She need to be, while Dr. G is worried about telling Quad to shut her fucking mouth, He needs to be telling his wife that. Because why are you okay with this lady talking about your money so much?
I don't know.
It's
I'm
weird.
just processing. So I'm like King. I process a lot. So as the men are, they finally are laughing everything off and everything. The ladies then go, and I don't know how the conversation started with Phaedra and Apollo or whatever it was, but I think it was Heavenly who asked, "So do you guys know Shake?" And Serene was like, "Yeah, I know him. Like, yeah, that's my friend. Like, we've been friends for years, and he's always at my house, and all this and this and that." And Phaedra is looking like, "Oh, okay, like, okay." And Apollo was like really offended by this. And it was like, sir, you don't need to be offended by anything. Like, you don't need to be talking about anything as much dirt you done did. Like, I would sit this one out. I really would have. And so Phaedra was like, I could date whoever I want to date. Like, that's none of your business or your concern. Like, why does that bother you? And Serene pipes up. She goes, see, that's Faye Faye right there. I told you, Apollo. Da, 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 da. And she goes, first of all, my name ain't Faye Faye, you bad bitch. I said, Phaedra.
Because we were thinking it when they showed the old picture and the video of Shireen years ago when Apollo went to jail, and that's when they got together. I said, "Oh, that bitch is fuller than a pregnant tick." I am trying to tell you, Shireen is inflated. She is having some sort of an allergic reaction to the fillers and the other surgical things that she has added to her body. But I said, Phaedra, that's the Phaedra we miss. Bad Bill
Phaedra.
bitch.
Phaedra didn't care about them cameras. She don't care if her mama pastor don't see. She don't care. Phaedra was ready. When I tell you Phaedra was ready, Phaedra was ready. So Phaedra had to walk away because I could tell she was ready to jump in that water on that lady. I could just tell she was ready. So Phaedra pulled Shake aside. He's getting pissed because Toya was asking questions. Everybody was asking questions, like, because we all want to know how is this going and everything. So Letitia stands up with her milk jugs and that damn bikini, and I'm just looking at her like, girl, Lord Jesus, get you some better support than that. I'm telling you, them titties had a mind day. I was waiting for one of them just to pop out. So she goes, who invited them anyway? Like, who invited them? And everyone's like, Heavenly. And Heavenly's like, and she's like, why would you invite them? Like, that's so messy. And Heavenly's like, I do what the fuck I want to do. Like, girl, don't talk to me. I got to answer to you. And so Heavenly got up, and when she got up, she lost her footing and she fell back down. And I was hollering. I was like, look at her. See, she can't even get out that water. But she was so mad at Letitia, and they was going back and forth. And so Phaedra pulled, it was a Phaedra or Dr. G pulled, I think Dr. G pulled Letitia out the water. It was like, look, calm down, calm down. And they went over towards Phaedra and Shay. And King's like, okay, well, since everybody is going through all this commotion, now's my chance to talk to Dr. G because I want a moment away from everybody else. And I'm looking at King like, why would you think through everyone's heightened
Listen,
circumstance right now that this is the perfect time to pull this grown man aside to confront
he's
him about what
fine, but he ain't slick. He knew exactly what he was doing.
mm-hmm.
He knew exactly what he was doing because they showed the clip of the comment that King didn't like. He heard that comment. He was looking right at Dr. G as he made the comment.
Yep.
I feel like he the type of nigga that's gonna sit and simmer for maybe a day or two, a week, maybe more, and then catch you when you least expect it or trick you into having a problem. I do feel like Dr. G deserved it, but you want to talk to him, like James just said, at the most heightened of moments. His wife is running rogue with her titties all over the beach, coming after her elders. Okay, that was not the time to talk to him, King.
I don't think any time would have been the time to talk to him because if you didn't confront it when he first said it, then what the hell is you confronting it and a whole couple hours later? Like, why would you even like I get people have to process certain things. But to me, I felt like this was out of line. And I can't believe I'm actually defending Dr. G in this, but it was wrong. I'm sorry, y'all. Like I thought, even though it was funny, it was wrong. So when he goes up to him, he goes, "Look, I don't want you talking to her no more, and I don't want you saying nothing to her no more. If you guys say something, you talk to me." And he was all like, "Okay, but she been talking to me crazy. So what am I supposed to do? Like I'm gonna defend myself." He goes, "No, no, no. She can say whatever the fuck she want to say, but you gonna confront me. If you got a problem with her, you deal with me." Now I understand that to a degree. I understand that to a degree, y'all. I'm not saying King is not being logical. He is. However, this circumstance is different, King. This circumstance is different, King, because that is that man's ex-wife before that was your lady. So that's what makes this circumstance a little bit different because he has an entitlement to defend himself against anything she says against him because those two were in a marriage. So yes, no, it's not. I don't see it King's way. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't. Heavenly had been wanting them on the show since last reunion. She wanted to have lunch and film with them. She said an interview with Apollo after the reunion. Oh, okay, okay. He probably wasn't going to say nothing. Then Dr. G turned around and brought it up in front of all the guys. You know what? I think that too, Shani. I was thinking when Mrs. Best was talking about that, when they played the flashback and him doing that, I think that he realistically didn't think he was going to hear anything else about it until he brought it up again in that moment. I think he just let it go because maybe he thought he was drunk while I was drunk. Maybe that's really what it was. But where I'm a pinpoint King's wrong is that he shouldn't have brought this up a third time, if that's the case.
Not in this moment, in the middle of all the argument, but he was
Right.
not wrong with what he did. Let me explain something to y'all. Just because you've been married, once you're no longer married, you're no longer married. You don't get the same claims. You don't get the same things that come with that. And you don't get the respect of being able to just say whatever the hell you want to somebody just because they're your ex. Especially when she has a new spouse. Now she belongs to somebody else, the same way Dr. G belongs to somebody else. So King said what he had to say in the wrong moment. But I agreed with what he said. He should have said that during that night of the argument. You know, he should have been Quad, be quiet, and removing her for the situation and addressing Dr. G. But Dr. G also doesn't want Sweet Tea to be arguing with Quad either. He don't want that to be happening. So it's kind of like pot calling kettle in the situation. But
Mm-hmm.
Dr. G wants to be able to come at Quad, disrespect her, and all these things. Yeah, okay, you know her because you were married to her. You know she was drunk the same way the rest of the cast knew that she was drunk. But you're the only one referencing, I was married to her. I know that she's drunk right now. It's the tone of what he's doing. I wish King would have handled it better, but Dr. G did need to be put in his place by somebody because he wants to be able to just talk crazy to Quad. And it's like at the end of the day, that's still a woman. She's not your woman anymore. Focus up on your female. So I feel like both of them were wrong to a certain extent. But now that Quad has a new man, Dr. G better shut the fuck up and put his cigarette out before he have problems constantly.
No, I definitely think no. Here's my take on that whole situation. I definitely think that Dr. G really was trying to bring Sweet Tea on the show to spite Quad. I really do think that that's exactly what this was. I do think that he didn't think Quad was going to ever get remarried or even get a man again. But the fact that he got somebody else, it was like, yeah, I knew I was going to move on. You didn't think you were, and you said I was the problem. I really feel like that's how his momentum was when it came to the demise of that relationship, and then the aftermath of where it went after that, because she was still able to continue with the show. Not so much he wasn't so much. So I kind of felt like that's exactly what it is. But yeah, I do agree they both are wrong. But I feel like for me, if you didn't say, if I like once again, King, if you didn't say anything in the beginning, you don't need to say something at the end either. Like just let it go and just let it be what it is. Now you can set boundaries. I have no problem with that. Now, if he was setting boundaries with Greg, I kind of would be like, okay, cool. Let that be that. Set boundaries and like, look, that first night, both our wives were out of control. Both, we don't want that to happen. So, let's create a space where, We won't be in your way, you won't be in our way, and let's kind of just, coexist, because obviously we're going to be in this circle of friends. Let's go ahead and do this like that. And that's where I would have had more respect for King if he did it that way. I really would have. And I wouldn't,
At the end of the day, as Quad said, and I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear this, they put themselves on this show. Heavenly May signed them up for it, but Dr. G chose to come back on this show with his new wife. All that he's done since he's been on this show is speak about his ex-wife. So I agree. He definitely he does miss Phaedra. That's clear. That's clear. I think
he misses the access. I don't think it's necessarily Phaedra he misses. I think he misses the access of what came with Phaedra.
He shouldn't have messed that up. But yeah, with Quad and King, I'm just like love is dope. I'm definitely team or BAP. I'm team King as well. Because my husband, he watched this with me last night. I was asking him, because it's always different when you get a man's perspective, right? And I've been in a situation like this. I had an ex come to an event with my spouse, and it was a whole thing. My husband's just like the way that man been talking, because he watches Married to Medicine with me. It's like King had to say something to set a line, but it was just messy the way he did it. So I don't know. It's stupid. I wish Dr. G would go away. Him and Sweet Tea have come on this show complaining constantly about Quad or the things that are said about their relationship, the rumors that wanted people on this cast to side with them and all of that. And it's like, you're coming onto her platform. She did not left. Y'all did. So it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't take their marriage seriously, because Sweet Tea watching her man cry over another man's woman, his ex, and she's just over here, I'm going to stick beside him. That man still won't Quad.
Yeah, it's something he still misses with Quad. I don't know what it could be, but he definitely do something. But what cracked me up is that it then gets heightened between King and Dr. G, where Shake, Phaedra's man, sits in the middle between. But King came about that shirt and started charging over. And all we saw was Dr. Greg run backwards. I ain't never seen somebody run backwards in all of my life, but he ran backwards. And you saw Quad. She was literally trying to run, and all you saw was her bouncing and tiptoeing. I was like, Quad, what are you doing?
She was running. All you heard through the mic, oh no, oh no, 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 oh no.
But it was Letitia for me. When I tell you I ain't never seen two big ass titties bouncing all of my life like that, I said, damn. And she was running, boy, like she was running away from Jason and Michael Myers. It was the best. And I was like, what the hell is going on around here? I can't wait to see next week's episode, because I want to see what all that running turned into. I do.
Nothing.
Not moonwalking, Shane.
Dr. G probably fell down, and the rest of the men in the group probably protected him because he's old as hell. I don't feel like nothing happened. I don't.
Well, I definitely don't think anything happened, but from what we understand in today's time, he did press charges. So something had to have happened.
He probably got pushed into the sand.
Maybe it was a little tussle. Maybe there was like a little,
two grown-ass men, both very successful. One of them's a damn doctor of psychiatry. And I got to use statements on this Good Monday talking about he probably was pushed in the sand. Two grown-ass men. One of them could be my pawpaw. Come on now. We don't want to see fighting on Married to Medicine. If I got to see fighting, let me see it on Housewives of Atlanta, Beverly Hills, something, but not Married to Black Medicine. I don't want to see.
Here's the thing. It was because of a fight that Married to Black Medicine is even on today. So I hear what you're saying, but we not
irritates me. Even with Toya, Mariah, and all them back in the day, it's like, come on. Sweet Tea was in the military, but that was not the run of somebody trained. That was a sloppy, I drank too much, and now I see my tiny old husband about to get pummeled by some young man.
It was like, it was, basically I needed her to tie her titties in a knot and run, because that was not.
I know her back hurt. I know her back hurt.
Like, it just was not the look. That wasn't what she needed to do in that moment. I don't want to see fighting, but I'm not opposed to running backwards.
Nobody letting them live it down.
We're not gonna let them
The
down. That was
difference between not wanting to fight because of your background, but versus being scary. Dr. G, you talk a lot of shit to be running backwards doing moonwalks in the sand.
I'm just saying because I'd have been ready. That's all. Even though I'm not the biggest fighter, y'all, I would have been ready. So it just
Heavenly too. Heavenly did the same thing with Contessa. You talk too much shit to be running backwards.
it was her run backwards as she said, "Security, get this woman."
The people who thought the most to say don't want to fight.
Don't want to fight. You don't want to fight, but you was ready for security. Talking about get this woman, and I get Contessa can definitely take it. Like I know she probably could toss Heavenly, but I'm just saying it's funny to see them like run for security. And I get they got shit to lose. I get it. I'm not saying that they're doctors. But at the end of the day, they forgot about that. Well, at least Contessa did. So hey.
Contessa moved like she in the military. Did you see that spin move she did that put Jackie on the ground in order to get to Heavenly?
Mm-hmm.
She moved tactically. Sweet Tea almost hit herself in the face with her left titty. It's a fact. Do you see? They was at very different boot camps. That's all I'm gonna say.
Obviously, yeah. Dr. Gregory was getting loud, and King face, and King was keeping it cool, or trying to. No, okay. Here's the thing. I don't think he was trying to keep it cool at all. I think he was trying to be demanding, and Dr. G just didn't know how to take that. Because, as I said, it was one of those situations where you can't just give me these demands just off rip because there's a lot of commotion going around, and you're thinking, okay, well, now I'm vindicated in my response to you because everybody else is fighting, so why not? That's what I got from that situation. So, yes. Yeah, you gotta hug them boobies when you run, sweet. I told her she needed time in a knot. She do. She needed time right in the knot. And that way they will stay right put because, next week, if Sweet Tea got a black eye, we know what it's from.
Jesus help us.
Shady, I'm not doing this with you today. I'm just not. Damn. I thought Heavenly said, "Oh, girl, red fade down." Heavenly stay lying. When Heavenly say that?
Exposed. She did say that. She did say that on a live recently. But I feel like Heavenly's idea of a read is likely that Shireen can expose little things about Phaedra in terms of who she dates. Because in that interaction with Apollo, Phaedra said this isn't the only guy that Apollo has had a problem with her dating. So it sounds like he just makes it hard for her to date in general, in my opinion. But I feel like Shireen would just know things about Phaedra, like from Apollo, and that's it. And Heavenly's idea of reads aren't always reads. Heavenly don't even know how to read. She just tells everybody's business bluntly and meanly. That's not a read. That's just you airing everybody's shit out.
And then when you get back her, all she tell you is your mama and your breath stink.
Yep. Every time.
That's all she does every time. And that's why I say y'all got to be ready to, like, in every argument, y'all should already know this. That's why I don't understand Contessa getting mad. You know this is what she do. To me, and it was funny because when Contessa made fun of Heavenly, like in her confessional, I don't know what season that was, but it was a fight she was having with Lisa Nicole. And it was Dr. Simone, Dr. Jackie, and Dr. Contessa. They were mimicking Heavenly in the confessional of that fight. And Dr. Contessa was spot on with her like mimic. And that's why I was like, you already know what she about to do. That's why I'm like, why are you getting this mad? Like, it just don't make no sense.
I wonder if was it Darren? I wonder if he's still cheating on Lisa Nicole.
Are they still married?
I don't know. I have not. I never followed them because when they were on the show, I could not stand Lisa Nicole. I just could not.
I didn't like her either. She just
something about him told me he will never stop cheating.
Mm-hmm. Y'all, I know this is crazy. Dr. Emily, did you ever power wash that? Oh my gosh. Mariah's read for Heavenly. I will never forget that. She said, bitch, your house nasty, pressure, wash this motherfucker. But I tell you, I was literally on the floor. Where was I at? Was I at home? Or was I was because Married to Medicine, I would have to watch the next day at work. And I felt like I was at work watching that. I was hollering when I heard that. Contessa Lee volunteers to be it's interesting to watch. No, she's one of those. She's a strange one, Contessa. She really is. She's a strange one. He does make it hard. Who? Who makes it hard? Apollo? Who are we talking about? Love is dope. Um, what else happened? That was in the episode, right? Didn't nothing else happen? Yeah, that was in the episode where we see these two men get into it, and we saw Sweet Tea run for her life. Um, she said, "Yo, I need to wash." Now look like they're getting divorced, and she said he was cheating. Who?
Apollo and Shireen, they announced that they're divorcing recently.
Oh, we saw that coming.
Yeah.
We saw that. We saw that
Long
coming
overdue.
on couples therapy. We saw that coming. I
I
knew they
want
were
to know
going to
why
get
her weave was so dry in that water, Shireen. It looked brittle. Her hair.
her hair always looked brittle. And you gotta have to understand, Apollo drives a $500,000 Mercedes G wagon, and you mean tell me her weave looked like that? Oh, okay, I see where the priority of the money, where the money goes. The poor young dude, he the only one. I'm trying to break it up with his drink in his hand. Well, that's what he signed up for. Because I wouldn't have broke up nothing. They just had to fight. Well, y'all two always have good commentary. I'm glad I ran across this, Shana. I'm glad that you're here too, Bab. We appreciate you. You be giving us, the comments, and you always welcome to do so because we love it. We be laughing for hours talking about y'all comments. We do. Apollo makes it hard for Faye to date. That's because let me tell you what that is real quick while we're here. The reason why he makes it hard for Phaedra to date is because he knows the access that Phaedra has. And he still wants to have that same access. And he doesn't want no man to come in and gain that. So that's why he makes it hard. It's because he knows what Phaedra can do, and he knows how Phaedra is in the marriage. So, because it doesn't seem like it would be hard to be married to Phaedra. It doesn't seem like it would be hard at all. I feel like you just got to keep up your appearance. I'll be willing to go every place with her, like an accessory, and you get access. You make connections, and then you make your own money, and you parlay it into a business because that's what she's going to require out of you. I'm just saying. So I feel like Apollo is one of those people that he doesn't want another man because whoever Phaedra get next, he gonna have more money than she does. Best believe that. So he's just trying to make sure that he always has access. That boy seemed mature to me. Who the Shek guy?
Phaedra probably his next scam. I think him and Apollo know each other in a way that's not
Mm-hmm.
most legal.
Mm-hmm. I agree. We're gonna say allegedly to protect my channel, but it is giving scam. It is giving, yeah, scamming her out of money, and Apollo takes a cut. It does. It does give that allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly to protect my channel, but y'all know what Apollo used to do. You know what he went to prison for. So I'm just saying, it just didn't seem that was way too close to comfort for me. That's all I'm gonna say. But that's about it, y'all. That's all that's happened. This was a great episode. Um, why else would Apollo even know that young man? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
They
Is
couldn't answer
giving,
it too. He was so quick to be like, "Why y'all in my business?" When they asked, "How do you know Shireen? How do you know Apollo?"
mm-hmm.
Just answer where you know somebody from. If you got to pull that, I don't need. Why are you in my business? That remind me of the boys that be with the shit from the neighborhood. That's what that
Yep,
reminds me of.
yep,
So
yep. You said it because that's exactly what that is. That's what I'm saying. Because it's a weird situation where you coming on the show, you know he used to be married to this lady. Now you're trying to date this lady, and then you tell her on public television that you know his ex, know her ex. Yeah, it's giving you. Yeah, something's not clean here, and I'm surprised Phaedra ain't just picking up on that.
because she's having fun. I don't think Phaedra is gonna be interested in like a long term or serious relationship or take anyone seriously if they don't have, like you said, the money, the career, the same success that she does. But I don't put it past her to just be messing with somebody to have fun. And ain't nothing wrong with that. It's just have fun with people that's not connected to your ex.
Right. And considering what your ex used to do, that, because how is he having income again? Does anybody know what Apollo does for a living now today? To be driving
Apollo
a
does not
500.
know what he does for a living today.
I'm just saying,
I'm telling
the man
you.
drives a $500,000 G wagon. It's a Brabus. I know how much those cost. I used to drive. I've driven one in Miami, so that's how I know what that is.
A lot of people, though, with the type of income that he has just from social media and stuff, he can't afford a car like that. I know people with cars like that working simple, basic ass jobs that everybody spends their money wisely. But I feel like all the reality TV Apollo's done, like Shani saying in the comments, um, as well as I think occasionally him and Phaedra still maintenance each other. I'm gonna say allegedly. I do think that happens here and there, and she'll probably be in a good enough mood to send him home with some biscuits and enough for a G wagon. You never know. I can see it happening because I have too many friends that have kids with their ex-husbands. Some of them just got baby daddies, things like that. And when they need their maintenance, as James likes to call it, they'll be like, "Yeah, I'll go to my baby daddy in a second. I've claimed that." So maybe
Which is
Phaedra
why I
does
don't
that
date
here and
people with
there.
kids. That's why I'm glad my man ain't got no kids. I'm glad he has a wife. And trust me, because I did ask. I'm glad that was never something. Because I can't do that. I'm sorry. That gets cut off when I walk through the door.
I don't do that either. I
Yeah,
have
that gets
real
cut off.
life
So if you
rules.
need to tune up, you better go find you another garage.
Yeah, I don't
'Cause
do that with people with kids either. I always say if something happened, I I couldn't. If I don't got a kid, I don't need to mess with nobody with no kids.
and it be the entitlement too that I can't take. It be the entire they be too entitled for me. Like, oh my god, I had him first, and I was like, oh well, and you lost him.
Uh-oh. Love is Dope said his wife's in real estate and Apollo remodels or does construction. How's that gonna work now that they divorcing?
She's in real estate. Love is dope. Send me her credentials, please.
Not the credentials.
I need to, send me, real estate license. That's public information. Send me that information. I want to see it because I know you come with receipts and stuff. I want to see her active real estate license, and I want to see the credentials of how long she's been doing it, and I want to see her top tier number.
A lot of people, though, especially in the industry, get real estate licenses.
Mhm.
It's common and do nothing with them. They just get them. So she probably got the credential, but I don't believe anybody's buying a house from her. I wouldn't buy a house from anyone shaped like that.
Which is why I said I want to see the credentials. I get that everybody can get a real estate. I'm about to get mine again because I've had one before as well. But I just don't. I just don't see that in her. I don't see her based on her. Not so much on this show. I'm talking about her from couples retreat. I don't see her doing that. I don't see her doing that. I just don't. Um, Speaking of that, where's Robin Dixon's marriage license?
The same place that her sense is, missing in a black hole somewhere, waiting for Matthew McConaughey to come and locate it.
See, that's a prime industry for shady. That's what I'm saying. I want to see her credentials. I just want to see. And I don't feel like Googling her to figure that out because I don't really care. Because once again, who the hell is Shireen anyway? So
She started talking to Apollo while he was under the jail, under the foot of the jail. The man had been sentenced and it was at the beginning of the sentence. So
and wasn't she the one that was neglecting her own child to go see
yes,
him?
she was, as well as now
Oh,
we
yeah,
know for
she's trash.
Phaedra.
Oh, yeah,
Phaedra
yeah.
was pregnant and Shireen was sleeping with him. So she gives me the type of chick that will be okay with anything. Oh, there's a movie on Netflix with Matthew McConaughey where he goes and searches for somebody in a black hole. But I just be saying stuff. Y'all ignore me. And he found his daughter in the hole. It was a good movie. I like sci-fi. Don't judge me, y'all.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it. All right, well, y'all, that's about it. That was Married to Medicine. We got to get to Mrs. Best channel now for her lives and recaps. So we thank you guys once again. This was a lot of fun. I appreciate you.
Yes, that is it.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna watch that. I agree, Mrs. about sweet tea and Greg. I'm not buying it really. Oh, okay. All right.
Convenience.
I I don't remember ever seeing you either. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're subscribed to me, and we would love to see you again. I appreciate your comment. Thank you so much. But yes, guys, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna go to Mrs. Best's channel next, and then we're gonna go ahead and get her lives out the way. And we thank you guys once again for being here. We love you guys. Take care. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, get me seen, and I will see you guys in a few days. Bye bye.